Record. Oh, you're already doing. Okay, perfect.
Good.
Awesome. So, some new changes coming to our blood drives. And this is our Let's Talk About series, our diabetes and A1C testing. Basically, we are doing these to uh, just preventative care. This is not we're going to give you kind of tips of what to expect at the blood drives during these testing periods. So we'll kind of dive into that, and then also our care and communication portion of this is kind of how to navigate maybe different conversations you may have with donors that are coming in, giving you just better ability to help answer those questions. Again, our Red Cross Caring Communication, hitting over these every week like we do, making caring visible by incorporating skills, initiatives, and behaviors, serving internal and external customers at all levels in every interaction, and creating a caring culture every day. That's what we're supposed to do, being on the forefront of all our changes and everything. And so we do appreciate you being on here. I see we have about 40 people on today. That is huge because we want you to be subject matter experts as best as possible. And our jobs is to give you the resources that you need to be successful. Change is the only constant in life. Big proponent if you're not learning or changing, I always have to be kind of doing different things. I'm always researching like DIY projects or any other things. I think that's what makes us human. But the note up at the top, donors interacting with our collection and recruitment teams will have questions, and how well those are answered is what's important. So being very pertinent and pointed. And of course, if you don't, I always tell people, you don't know the answer, it's okay. That's what we're here for. We will find it. We'll get to you and make sure we convey that to the person asking the question. Okay, so diabetes and A1C testing, and what do we know? Uh, Basically, these four topics are huge. So they're doing testing months in March, August, and November, and future testing will be based on year one results. So if you're donating blood in March, August, or November, that's when they're doing these testings. So obviously this month. Well, not too much longer. We're almost out of March. The next one, Red Cross is not attempting to diagnose diabetes. And that's really huge. We're not diagnosing anybody with diabetes, but we're testing for uh, the diabetes A1C. Testing is intended to give information about their health that may improve early detection and raise awareness to empower them to adopt a healthier lifestyle. Again, that keyword early detection. It's not to say, oh, you have diabetes. It just could mean you could be subject to that. Uh, the pink box down here at the bottom. Donors who donate multiple times within a testing month will only be tested once. Consent is not required for testing, which leads me to my next point. Donors do not have the ability to opt out. These are our testing months, March, August, and November. And should a donor not wish to be tested, they will be advised to donate in a non-testing month. So April, May, June, July, are dates they can donate if they do not feel comfortable with um, the testing. So this again, we're adopting this new testing software, the A1C. But going back to our caring communication, we need to incorporate our caring communication skills. When I first started working for the Red Cross about 3 or 4 years ago, it was heart, head, heart for the focus statements. Now we're kind of looking at care, knowledge, and care. So it's still somewhat of the same principles. We want to make sure we're hitting on our reflective feelings. You're always saying something, communication with positive purpose, repeat caring, thank you, no thank you, respond with layers of care and communication. Care, your knowledge of what you're talking about, and then following it back up with the care as well. Um, again, when we're talking about these, just be thinking about like all the questions that could definitely arise during the A1C testing months. Again, we want to hit on our reflective feelings, watch and listen for what the person is feeling. Don't judge, and be sincere and respectful. Find common ground. Again, I've hit on this in other caring communications modules. It is important for our volunteers, a lot of you on here, the reason you are a blood donor ambassador, you do like to intermingle with people and talk to people. That is you're a people person, as I tell my volunteers, and that being sincere and respectful to people will really go a long way. Make sure people want to come back and donate with us. Always saying something. People will hear your nonverbals over your spoken words. Make sure you watch for cues from your customer. Monitor your own nonverbals. Maybe how you are using your hands when you're talking to donors. Uh, Certain aspects like that. Trust and relationships are damaged when our nonverbals say one thing and the verbal words don't match. Take for an instance, maybe someone's trying to talk to you, but you're busy doing other things and listening to them. That can be something that may turn people away or be like, huh, does that person really care about what I'm saying to them? Or is that person really getting what I'm telling them when I'm not focused on what they're saying? Communicating with positive purpose, how to communicate how your actions are in the best interest and what we're doing, why what we do benefit them, and how to make customers know what to expect, no surprises. Again, just trying to be subject matter experts as best as possible with the whole process of the blood donation process, front end to back end. Repeat carrying again. We kind of mentioned this already in the last slide. Thank you, no, thank you. Um, Again, sometimes the answer is no. Sometimes a donor may not be able to donate due to maybe um, they're on a certain medication, but we have to be able to have those conversations with these people. Um, and again, going back to that care, knowledge, care sandwich, layering how you kind of respond to somebody. Thank you for coming in today. Acknowledge it. So this is why you can't donate today because of this XYZ, maybe because of a medication, or I'm sorry that you're upset about the testing that we're doing for the A1C. Would you like to help? Uh, Let me help you schedule another donation during the non-testing months. Thank you so much for coming in today. Care, knowledge, care. Navigating tough talks, prepare in advance, active listening, stay calm and professional, encourage two-way communication, focus on solutions, and offer support. Again, you can read through these, and these will be available to on our recording, not to dive too much into the weeds. But these are always constantly happening at blood drives. Uh, Sometimes they don't happen as often, depends on just the types of donors that are coming in. Prepare in advance, uh, clarify the purpose and desired outcome. Active listening, again, what I talked about on the last slide. Active listening, making eye contact. They can tell that you are listening to them, maybe not doing something else while they're talking to you. Stay calm and professional, remain calm and composed. You're a volunteer, and we do appreciate you coming to volunteer with us. And I know this is something that can always be on the forefront of no matter who it is. We are all human. Just remain calm. Again, you're doing a great thing for the organization, so keep that in mind. Remain calm and composed. Sometimes what I tell a lot of people when my volunteers, some of them do get frustrated, is because maybe that donor's having a bad day. We all have bad days. So, but remember, you're having a good day because you're volunteering with the Red Cross. Encourage two-way communication, allow the other person time to speak. I always tell people that God gave us two ears and one mouth for a reason. So try and listen more than you talk. I know I'm very bad about that sometimes. So, encourage two-way communication. Listen more than you talk. Focus on solutions. Seek feedback. I tell people all the time before we get off our onboarding phone calls for my blood donor ambassadors, we want to know feedback. It's what improves us. What makes us better. Never feel discouraged to ever not give us feedback because again, that's what makes us better. That's how we can improve, and then offer support, provide support and reassurance by using what maybe you learned in this module or at the blood drive, and just tell the staff that, the staff, donors, anybody you're interacting with at these donation sites, and using those skills that we've put to the test. So kind of going back to the A1C testing, um, common donor questions. Again, this is during the testing months that were stated on the first few slides. Can I opt out of the A1C testing during a testing month? Individuals, donors will not be able to opt out. Again, kind of going back to the other slide, if donors do not wish to receive A1C testing, they are encouraged to return to donate after the testing period's over. If I have prediabetes or diabetes, can I still donate? Yes, you can still donate blood even if you have diabetes that is well managed, even through medication, as long as you're feeling well. Keyword, if you're not feeling well on a donation day and a donor just doesn't seem like, if you kind of see that someone may not be feeling well, again, go through these conversations of care, knowledge, care. Maybe they shouldn't be donating if they're not wanting to, or they're just acting like that, like they just really want to donate, but you can kind of see they may look tired. Just kind of walk them through that process. How I get my A1C test results. I think Ruth had that question before we started in the chat. And here we go. So donors can expect to receive the results of their A1C testing within 2 weeks through our Red Cross Blood Donor app or in their donor account at redcross.org. So I'll stop talking for a second. Who here, and you can raise your hand. I don't have access to the chat, but who here likes to use the blood donor app? Stephanie.
Alan, Stephanie commented in the chat that she donated on March 12th and saw her results at donation history. And then
Perfect.
Jim commented, how will donators be made aware of this testing of their blood?
So they should be talking about it. Like during the blood drive, the staff should be able, they should be communicating, this is what we are doing in this month. Um, as you're checking in donors, you can always say, hey, this is the month that we're doing the A1C testing. Are you okay with that? Well, actually, no, I wouldn't even say, are you okay with that? We are doing A1C testing this month. And then leave it up to that donor to be like, if they inquire more, from what I have been told and what Stephanie, you can always uh, put it in or come off mute. Sorry, I'm trying to think. Sorry,
It's okay.
mm,
Stephanie also asked if it was mentioned in the rapid pass process. I had heard that it was, but I can't confirm. I have not seen it, but
uh-huh.
I heard that it is mentioned in the rapid pass process. Um,
Oh, this is what I was going to ask Stephanie. Did they? I'm assuming they don't have to prick the finger anymore, like during the testing phase. Is just a it is a kind of like a pulse ox. I'm assuming because that's what I've seen on other things.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So I'm not sure exactly whether the test is from the blood prick on my finger. I don't think so. I think that's still just iron only. I was assuming it was from those added vials that they take in the donor process for all the other testing that has to be done, that they just test the blood there at this, as an added step.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Again, I haven't scheduled I'm due to donate, I think later this month too, so I haven't really gone through that process yet. I'm trying to do, we're just kind of pausing for a few right here. Kathy, Miss Kathy, Kathy Klein, thank you for putting out the normal range. Uh,
Yeah, it says that, and I'm going through the chat as well. Social media has been pushing out knowledge about the A1
okay, good.
testing. Somebody had asked about if they do not use the app, how can they get the results? They can always call the 1-800 Red Cross option one um, to receive that information. And someone said, are we required to mention it when they check in?
I don't believe so because they should
No,
hit that on the health history.
right.
The collection staff should really be able to hammer that home on mentioning it. Basically, guys, so people don't use the donor app, totally understand, but you can call the American Red Cross number, and if they have your email, I'm assuming I haven't checked my email. I know I get email notifications of where my blood is throughout the process, but regardless, just because you don't have the app, you should still be able to get your results. And again, yes, March, August, and November are the 3 months of testing.
Yeah, and I think that from what I'm reading through other emails that I've sent, it is used, an extra vial is used
Yes.
um,
Okay. There you go.
to get that. Yeah.
And again, right here at the bottom, for questions about donor-specific test results, our donor customer support, DCSC, donor counselors will be ready to help. 1-800 Red Cross, option one. So when in doubt, 1-800 Red Cross, option one. All right, Jane, I'll go ahead and just let me know when you need me to change the slide, and I'll
Sure.
switch, let you take it. Sorry.
Sure,
Went back.
thank you. So the next couple slides, we're just going over some basic scenarios that could happen. Um, let's say that a donor walks in and asks, why are we testing A1C levels for diabetes? Let's assume they didn't have any information and they want to know. Using that care, knowledge, care sandwich, um, with care, you could say, I'm so glad you asked that question. I'm really glad you asked that question. That's an important question to ask. The knowledge, our mission in public health is to give back to our blood donors by providing you with important health information. We aim to encourage donors to seek medical care if their A1C levels are elevated. Again, we're just giving out the information. We're not doing any diagnosing or anything like that. We're just giving them the information so that they can take maybe better prevention strategies and check out, have their doctor check those over a period of time. And then you would follow up with, are there any other questions I can answer for you? Is there any other help that I can give you? Is there any other ways that you guys can think to respond to this type of question using our caring communication layers? Okay, I'm reading through the chat as well, and I do agree, Jim. It would be great if we could get that as a text. Some of these comments we can always take back um, in our meetings as well. It's to provide feedback for what the ambassadors and donors are saying about what's to come. Next slide, Alan.
So also, Jane, before you get started, I know we have a few more coming through. Bonnie said, if someone called the Red Cross number to get their results, how will the Red Cross ensure that the caller is actually the donor? I do believe they have to verify, like birthday, name, in order to get their account pulled up. So that's that. And let's see. So, okay, I'll let you go ahead and hit the next scenario.
Okay, what are some ways we can respond to this scenario using caring communication layered response skills? Why didn't I get my test results for in my blood donor app? Um, Using the care strategy. Oh, great question. I would be glad to help you with that. Knowledge, please reach out to Red Cross redcrossblood.org. Make sure to wait 14 days after your donation or call our Red Cross Donor and Client Support Center at 866-236-3276 to request your A1C result. Noted in there that they did say you could reach out redcrossblood.org. If you'd rather do that, then call the number. And then finally, thank you so much for coming today. Anything else that I can help you with? That would be a good way to address that question. Next slide, please.
All
Oh,
right.
sorry.
And before I go to everyone, if anyone's taking notes or just kind of have a pen and paper pencil next to them, go ahead and write that 1-866-236-3276. Just write on a post-it note or put it in your phone, so that way you have it if you're at a blood drive and be like, well, how do I get these tests? And if someone says they don't have the app, and then you can give them the number to write down, and they can go home and call.
And I noticed a lot of people too are asking, what happens when the donors ask, why is this being done? Again, we're just doing this as a community service, public service, public health service, I guess, just to let donors be aware that they could have, sugar issues, that they could have um, A1C, high levels A1C or whatever. We're not doing it to diagnose. We're not doing it for anything that benefits, the Red Cross. We're doing this for the donors. Um, and a lot of people too are saying just to make sure we encourage the donors to get the app. Yeah, this gives us even more of a reason to encourage the donors to get the app and to use the app. It is truly easier than calling the number or doing like a live chat on redcrossblood.org. Okay. What are some ways we can respond to this scenario using the caring communication layered response skill? Maybe a donor is upset because they cannot opt out of the A1C testing. From the care strategy, I really appreciate how passionate you are. Knowledge. I want to provide you and other donors with a positive blood donation experience. Let's discuss the process and next steps. We can find a blood drive in a month when testing is not conducted. So you can always look at the schedule and see if you can find a blood drive at the same place or in a place in um, close proximity that could be doing the donations without that's not in one of those months of the A1C testing. And then finally, care. I value your enthusiasm. Let's work together to make this a great day. Okay, next slide, please. There's a lot of general FAQs and resources. Um, if the talking points available to staff and volunteers are not sufficient to satisfy the donor's inquiry, donors will be encouraged to contact customer care at redcross.org. Social care is also involved and will address questions coming through those platforms. If a donor is unable to obtain their test result via the web or app, then we will follow the same inquiry process as we do for donors who have questions about another test we perform. The DCSC will work with the donor to help them obtain the test result information. And again, that's either through the 1-800 Red Cross number, redcrossblood.org. It's got some links here available. We also have items posted to the OneSource, redcrossblood.org, and the donor app. The diabetes A1C testing page is on the field, which is the internal site for our recruitment staff, and it is now live. For all successful blood, platelets, or plasma donors, visit the PE Collections SP site to find 2 internal resources explaining how the Red Cross informs donors about their A1C levels as part of our health community. And next slide, please.
All right, Jane, I was trying to put the talking points in. Let's see, I
In
think
the
that
chat.
was, yeah, I was trying to do that. Other than that, yeah, I was just trying, I think that was pretty much it.
Okay,
So what I'm going to do before we kind of get off, we can go ahead and stop recording.
sure.
And what we'll do is we'll make sure before everyone leaves today to have